Good afternoon and welcome to the Pittsburgh City Council Cablecast public hearing for Monday, December 6, 2021, relative to Bill 2021-2161. Will the clerk please read the title of the bill?
Bill 2161, resolution authorizing the city to enter into a cable franchise agreement and certain subsidiary agreements for other services arising from the cable franchise agreement with Comcast Cable Communication Management, LLC.
If members join us, I will recognize them as they join. We will now hear from, I believe, Director Norman. You have some comments related to the bill?
Yes, I do. I'd like to introduce everyone to this new franchise renewal agreement. So members of council, thank you for the opportunity to address the cable franchise renewal agreement that has recently been negotiated with Comcast. As you know, according to federal law, any cable company that wants to provide cable services in the city must enter into a franchise agreement. The reason is that the city controls the public rights of way, and the cable companies have wires and other equipment in those rights of way. The Comcast agreement is now up for renewal. When the city entered into the franchise renewal negotiations with Comcast in May of last year, we knew we would be negotiating in a more challenging climate than the last round 10 years ago. And there are three major reasons for this. First, the cable industry has changed dramatically. In particular, the introduction and rapid growth of video streaming, such as Netflix, Hulu, or Disney Plus, has altered the video landscape tremendously. And this has led to many cable customers either cutting the cord or reducing their cable subscriptions and adding in streaming services. Secondly, because video streaming is not classified as a cable service, revenues from video streaming are not currently subject to the city's franchise fee. And third, in 2019, the FCC eroded municipal rights in the cable franchise arena with its third report and order. However, despite these challenges, I'm very pleased to report that the franchise agreement before you today is the strongest possible agreement the city could have achieved in this challenging environment. The reason is that both sides, Comcast and the city, negotiated in good faith and very diligently over the course of 17 months to achieve an agreement that is acceptable to both sides. There were many negotiation sessions that addressed the key issues. And please allow me to touch on the highlights of the final agreement. First, an exciting addition to this new agreement. Comcast has agreed to partner with the city in creating digital media centers interspersed throughout the city. These will be part of the RectoTech program, and funding from Comcast will be used to help establish 3 digital hubs and several mini media labs at designated city recreation centers. Our residents will be able to access technology and create video programming that will be shared on the city's public access channel. The funding for the RectoTech media centers is part of a larger package of funding for the city channel and PCTV that, based on current Comcast customers, would generate approximately $4.4 million over the next 10 years. Comcast also agreed to upgrade those channels to high definition format, which is the format used by the industry across the board. Comcast will also continue to provide a private, high-speed institutional network, which is known as an iNet, serving many of the city's facilities currently until the launch of the city's upcoming NetPGH network. Comcast will continue to provide free cable service to public safety facilities for the next 6 years and internet service to senior and recreation centers until NetPGH is up and running. Comcast will, of course, be required to comply with comprehensive and enforceable customer service standards. And finally, Comcast will continue to pay franchise fees to the city in the amount of 5% of an expanded definition of gross revenues derived from the city. So I'd like to conclude by taking a moment to thank Dan Cohen and the Cohen Law Group for assisting the city with these negotiations, and to thank Comcast for negotiating in earnest and in good faith. This agreement has the added benefit of strengthening the city's longstanding partnership with a valued corporate partner. As you know, we are also in the process of negotiating a new franchise agreement with Verizon, and I look forward to coming back before you when that negotiation is concluded next year. Thank you, and I'm happy to take your questions at the appropriate time.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Director. And we will now move the testimony from registered speakers. Once your name is called, please state your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address council. If you do not register in advance, we will open up testimony after the list of registered speakers. Non-registered speakers will receive 1 minute. So in that, I'm going to move to, we have one registered speaker, John Patterson. You may begin. Is he online? Okay.
I guess I had to unmute myself. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Good afternoon. My name is John Patterson. I'm the Executive Director of Pittsburgh Community Television, also known as PCTV. We are the city's public access television provider. I will be brief. On behalf of PCTV, I want to congratulate the negotiating team for getting the city an excellent deal, particularly when it comes to public education and government access television, which is the realm that I work in. It's gratifying to see that the city and Comcast were able to reach an agreement that continues to give PEG access television and media the support that it deserves. I have to say, getting HD channels is absolutely wonderful. We've been waiting for that for years. It's really quite an achievement. The support for the RectoTech media hubs is fantastic. That's really going to expand opportunities for youth and others in the city. And we really look forward to working with the city over the next 10 years to continue bringing Pittsburgh top-notch public access media services, and also to support the city's goals for RectoTech. You're really in favor of anything that expands access and opportunity, and I think this franchise really does that. Obviously, there are a lot of other things to consider in the franchise beyond public education and government access media and television. But from our perspective, this is really a good deal for the city. Excellent deal. So we are in favor of the approval of the franchise, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. And at this time, since there are no more registered speakers and I do not see anyone in the chambers, Madam Clerk, is there any other council people on the? So no council people on the line. I do have some questions. So if you could indulge me for a second. So this agreement here basically gives us access to anyone who has a cable subscription would be able to easily turn on their TV and they would see on PCTV the channel. And could you elaborate on visually what this does?
I'd be happy to do that. So any of the Comcast subscribers to their cable services will see two channels, or continue to see two channels. One is our city channel for these types of broadcasts, and the other one is the public community, the education and government channel that PCTV really runs on the city's behalf. What they will experience shortly is both of those channels being upgraded to high definition format. And in addition, a new aspect that is very welcome will be that on there, the channel that provides a guide for which programs are being broadcast at any particular time, both of those channels will be added. And so for the first time, the subscribers to Comcast services will be able to see what the programming is going to be, both through City Channel and through PCTV.
Okay. What if you have just an antenna? Say you don't have cable and you have one of those HD antennas. Can you pick it up?
I think for the Comcast channels and what people can see is probably more through YouTube rather than through the digital antenna access. This is really on the cable side.
Okay. So I guess I'll put it out there. I don't have cable. We have a Fire Stick TV. We have a little Fire Stick we put in the HDMI. How are we? Can I click on it like Netflix and get to the different?
So the City Channel has a YouTube channel that you would be able to navigate to YouTube and watch any of the programming there and to cast it up onto your screen at home.
Interesting. Yeah, because that helps go to the future of television or the way we see things. I'm just always curious on that. Everything's like a buy as you go scenario now. So if I download YouTube, which apparently is not within this agreement. If I download YouTube and I guess I could find the City Channel, but then PCTV has a channel as well in there.
Yes, PCTV also has a channel on YouTube.
Okay. What about these centers that you mentioned? We got this other additional part of the agreement for the RectoTech. So can you just walk me through that? Like, what are some of the highlights with that?
So what we have planned is for there to be 3 digital media hubs in 3 different recreation centers to be determined. And the money that will go toward those will help to build what we call like education centers, where students will learn how to use television cameras, editing boards, sound boards, those types of things. And they will actually be able to record or even broadcast television from those recreation centers. So it actually expands upon our public access channels and allowing students within the RectoTech program to learn how to create that kind of digital content. The mini media labs are going to be in different recreation centers, and those will be smaller laboratories where they won't have quite as much equipment and there won't be live feeds directly into our public television stations, but they will learn how to create digital content in possibly preparing for a future career or role in that world. We have a large number of professionals, including John Patterson from PCTV, professors from our various local universities, as well as professionals in television and radio who are part of our overall digital media network, who are very excited to be working with students and helping to prepare them for a future in creating digital content across the spectrum of media.
Great. Where does RectoTech take place? It's hard to say.
RectoTech is a program within the City Parks program, and
Like in a center?
today,
Is there like a
they offer classes to students in computer programming and other types of technical fields through recreation centers. And during the course of the pandemic, my understanding is that some of those courses were also offered online.
Okay. And kids across the city can sign up at any rec center?
I would have to check on what the schedule is through the City Parks program, but anyone can go online and look in the City Parks program for opportunities to sign up for those classes in a recreation center near them or online.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because we got a investment in rec centers, but not built yet, you know? So I just wanted to make sure kids in my area can sign up, and seems like everything's in Cog Hills District. No, I won't say that. I'll wait till he's here to joke around with him like that.
I'm gonna say, I'll leave that between you and Mr.
Yeah,
Coghill.
yeah. But anyway, I just want to make sure that kids across the city can sign up wherever, regardless of where they live. All right, thanks. I don't have any further questions, and I'm the only one here. Mr. Cohen, do you have anything you'd like to share? I know that you've been patiently online. I just want to make sure I'm sure you were here for questions, but anything?
No,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate it. Heidi summed it up perfectly.
All right, great. All right. So with that, having exhausted all the business of the public hearing, this meeting is adjourned.